Okay, hi everyone. So I'm just checking the scenery, like is there anything weird around here? I guess I should say that I did a lot of checking around here just to see like is there anything weird. Like if I'm being really honest, like I think one of my fears with photography and videography, I hope I'm saying that right, is that there could be like bird droppings on rocks. Wait, did I already say rocks? Like, yeah, actually I forget. Anywhere outside there could be like bird droppings, whether that's like rocks, which is a common one, railings, like especially like on a beach boardwalk, like that can be really tricky. So in a picture you can work a lot on getting rid of those and but like in a video it's like so I didn't see any. And then this is just, it's almost like a little courtyard out here. Maybe I'll put that description in the beginning of this video. I'm getting so sick of like this hair. I'm definitely gonna be changing it up soon. Like when I put it like that, it looks kind of cool. Like the lighter parts, but it's like not the best. So, as you can tell, there's a lot of sounds in the background. I am house sitting, and so I'm sort of in an area where there's a lot of agricultural operations. I checked like an hour ago and it was like quiet, but now that I'm filming, of course, there's like stuff going on. I think I did okay with the lighting. I looked it up and it said that you should find something called open shade, and I'm really liking it because it doesn't have any of the distracting shadows like I've been dealing with in other videos recently. This is a leaf, by the way. So I don't want a double chin. I don't know if I should do higher up or not. It's just really tempting to like almost do that. I think that's even better actually. So I just changed the camera angle. I think I like that better. By the way, I'm gonna be changing my hair again. I made it darker, as you can tell. And I'm trying to decide like how much. Oh, good job, birds. The birds are like balancing out the like the tractor sounds. There's also like a plane sound in the distance, or it's some kind of lawn equipment. I can't tell. I think it's lawn, like a lawn thing. So today I want to talk about my experience with working at a corporate job. Basically, I guess you'd call it like a 9-to-5. Someone's like yelling from a distance. I have my book here. I don't know if I'm gonna reference it much. There is a chapter that I know I talk about. Basically, like, what do you do if you're, a message for those who feel trapped in despair and or lost. I definitely feel like I used that when I was at my 9-to-5. I have worked multiple 9-to-5s. Let me clarify that. I worked multiple corporate jobs. I am drawn to the arts. I'm drawn to using more of the imaginative sector of my brain. Wow, I put a trigger warning on this chapter. I don't know if you heard that, but that's a motorcycle in the distance. Yeah, I think that's definitely a lawnmower. In that direction, there's a tractor over there, a lawnmower over there. All the birds are amazing. And then there's a motorcycle like somewhere on a road back there. This chapter is literally called A Message for Those Who Feel Trapped in Despair and or Lost. And I would say I felt all of those at one of the jobs I had, more than a couple jobs. There's a trigger warning, and I forgot why I put this trigger warning. And sometimes when I talk about my book, I make it sound like I'm like not even the author, like which is I'm definitely the author. I spent many moons and suns, I guess you would say, many suns and moons working on this, and I don't know if it's just my memory ability, but I would say that it's probably common. Any authors, writers out there that can vouch for that, like you write something and then you can't really like say like what specific chapter you reference something, or like you have to go back in your book, and your memory gets jogged pretty easily. But still, I would imagine, especially for like those really long books that people write. So I've been meaning to, well, not for a long time. Basically, I've been kind of worried that maybe I'm like not talking enough about the chapters with trigger warnings, because I don't want to give the wrong impression that like my whole book is just about really lighthearted topics, or just like semi, you know, like pretty chill topics. But there are like pretty intense topics that could bring up unideal emotions. The trigger warning says there is discussion of abuse in domestic situations. First of all, anxiety and depression are healthy emotions for humans. Just because you feel anxiety and or depression does not mean you have to be alienated. It is not taboo. It does not make you too different to function in this world. The difficult part is when people feel both anxious and depressed, and then also trapped and with literally no glimmers of hope. A person in, okay, this is when I start talking about what I mentioned in the trigger warning, and I will put a trigger warning in the description. Yeah, I guess I'll just keep reading here. So I'm going to talk about what I mentioned in the trigger warning. A person in an abusive household would likely struggle with hope. That person is usually dependent on an abuser financially and psychologically for I didn't say that right. That person is usually dependent on an abuser financially and psychologically for validation and purpose. A way to make the situation better is sitting alone, breathing deep breaths, and then asking out loud to the universe for help. For example, asking something along the lines of this: please help me, angels. Please give me a sign. Your angels will then take some psychological weight off of you. They will then show you the way, whether through a kind action from someone else, an animal, social media, or just anything that the angels will know will boost your spirits enough to keep you going. Your angels know you better than anyone else. And that's the whole chapter. Oh, I think I hear a frog. So for the record, I'm not just saying that it's like people in like struggling in a house, like in their home environment. Like when I was going through my depression with my workplaces, I was living alone. So I'm not just saying like in your house. And oh wow, I see a squirrel. I would show the squirrel, but also like I'm at this house I'm watching, so I like kid you not, that squirrel is over there, like, and they look like they're my audience, like their face is like directed at me. Oh, they're gone. They're like, this is kind of boring. I really hope the tractor sound isn't just like really, really bad the whole time. And the lawnmower. By the way, this is my tie-dye blanket. It's funny because I've brought this tie-dye blanket to like so many places now, like this one Halloween, I brought it and like put it on like these outside benches where there's this random like pop-up music thing. So back to what I wanted to talk about mainly in this video. Being at a 9-to-5 or corporate job is really challenging. When I had this artistic, imaginative side of my brain, and there were individuals in those environments where they were taking advantage of those talents I had, and then on top of that, with lack of better words, there was abuse going on. I think it happens a lot to artistic types, and I don't know why. I don't know why there's so much suffering. I don't know why I don't know why. So, okay, now the tractor over there is getting quiet, but then there's like the lawnmower over there, so I don't know if you still hear that. I don't know how to say it any other way. It was torture, and it was torture to be in an abusive work environment and at the same time feel like your creative talents are being used, and then oh wow, that the lawnmower turned off. Oh, never mind. At least there's a frog now. I hope you can hear the frog. It was torture to be going through that, and I guess there was like an instinct. Okay, so the reason that I talked about that in the book is because I was doing that a lot. I was doing what I talked about in the chapter. I was saying things like, please help me, angels. Please give me a sign. I'll try my best to follow the sign. There were days where I felt like there were no signs. There were days where I felt like there were no angels. There were days where I felt like I still believed there was something bigger than us, but when I was talking to them, whatever it was, I was just saying, I don't think I'm meant to be here, because I don't think I'm meant to be on this planet. I don't think I'm meant to be in this world. I've done everything in my power to exist, and I don't really want to be here. If every day is like this, if I'm just gonna be, if I'm just continuing to be used, and I don't know like how to describe the abuse because it was really specific to each of my workplaces, but it was extreme. And okay, I feel like I'm not talking enough about what I was wanting to talk about, and really it's just like what I experienced while I was still in those 9-to-5 work environments. When I asked for help from angels, from whatever's greater than us, I do feel like I was guided to pursue my YouTube channel, and so I tried my best to keep posting on here, even though it did feel like torture to be still being abused in situations, and then to be vulnerable on your YouTube and like post your art. It felt near impossible. So if there's anyone out there that is struggling I just realized that this grass kind of looks like a hat. Oh my gosh. And now that I said that, we're all gonna keep seeing it. We're all gonna keep seeing this hat. So my life was extremely challenging during these times, and as you can imagine, going to a job where you feel like people are using and abusing you, and then you're going home and like trying your best to still post on a YouTube or whatever your art is, and feel like those same people could be seeing your art and like making fun of you, or just talking very negatively about you, basically like further abuse. Because I'm not just saying like, oh, this is just some random person somewhere in the world who's like, oh, this video is lame, this is boring. Like, I'm saying like literally your abuser, it could be like going to the internet and like seeing your art and then talking really negatively about your art. Like, that's just an extension of abuse, in my opinion. So it felt near impossible to keep doing my art, and the more that I saw ways out of those situations, the more I felt like I could do my art. Sometimes I felt like my art was simply just trying to express that I was depressed, like whatever that may have been. And I remember for a long time I had on my Instagram and my YouTube trigger warnings about how my content might be triggering, because I didn't really know, because I was in the middle of it, but I felt like I was self-aware enough, like I knew that I was depressed, and with lack for better words, I was suicidal ideating. I think that's how you say that. Well, there's a plane. I can see it. I really want other humans out there to know that it's normal to feel like when you're at a 9-to-5 job that it's normal that you might not feel the best expressing your art for the world to see, because you very well might be around people who are who just don't have a supportive energy, and who very well might be abusive and very, very toxic. And I don't want to like scare you, but at the same time, like, I'm trying to make it feel like you can be more free to work on your art and express your art. Because when you're at a 9-to-5 or corporate job, it really did feel like, for me, it felt really impossible to fully work on my art in that way. Really, yeah, it had a lot to do with feeling safe, because in those work environments I felt very unsafe. So then, like, when you're trying to express your art, like, it doesn't feel safe, and it felt like a near impossible task to continue YouTube. I won't say that my life is perfect after all that's happened. I'm just relieved that it's different than what it was, and I'm relieved that those work environments are in my past and they'll never be in my life again. Well, that's a nice sound. Like, I think you'll be able to hear that, like the wind. The lighting is not perfect. I'm worried that if I waited longer and used more of the golden hour lighting, which is an hour or so before sunset, that it would have looked a lot better. However, my instinct told me to use this lighting. So I feel like golden hour can sometimes be a little too extreme, because you're just like, oh, I'm gonna go film like right when the sun's gonna leave, and then it's gonna be nighttime, and like I really love it, but also sometimes kind of hate it a little. Like right now it's like more chill, and it's like 2 or 3 hours before the sun sets, or until it's like dark. Okay, just like branches cracking. So that is it for now, and I'll see you in my next video.